Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I post true crime content like this all the time, so if that's something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button, give it a like, put your post notifications on so you don't miss when I post a brand new video. So today we've got an interesting one. I've not covered this case on my channel, so it's not a case, it's more of a theory and just you've read the title, you know what this is about. It's about a girl claiming that she's Madeleine McCann. So let's get on to today's video. So if you don't know who Madeleine McCann is, I'm sure you all will, because, well, everyone knows who Madeleine McCann is, plus you're on my true crime channel, so, and you clicked on this video, so I'm guessing you all know who Madeleine McCann is. But if you don't, I'm gonna briefly explain her story. So, Madeleine McCann was a 3-year-old girl who disappeared while she was on holiday with her family in Portugal in 2007. Her parents had left her and her younger siblings in their apartment while they were going out for their meal, which was just across the way from their apartment. And she was disappeared, she was taken, and she hasn't been seen since for 16 years. So there is a Polish girl who is 21, but her real name is unknown, but her documented age is 21, and she's claiming, or that she believes, she is Madeleine McCann. So this woman's name is Julia, and Julia is saying that this is her belief of being Madeleine McCann ever since she had a conversation with her grandmother. So when Julia was a little girl, she was taken advantage of by a man, and she says that she developed PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, amnesia, and complex PTSD. She says that she is unable to remember anything before the age of 4, and obviously Madeleine McCann disappeared at the age of 3, so that would add up to the timeline and would make sense as why she won't be able to remember anything. Yeah, Julia had spoken to her grandmother, and she says that allegedly Julia's parents knew about her being taken advantage of as a child, and yeah, they knew the whole time. This made Julia become more interested in her upbringing, and childhood, so she decided that she was going to do some research into it. She was curious as to whether her parents knew about her trauma as a young girl, and that it had caused her all these mental issues like PTSD and memory loss. She says that she has been in multiple mental health facilities during her growing up, and this is how she realised that she couldn't remember any of her childhood. Julia has one memory growing up. She was at the beach and there were buildings which looked similar to the ones at Praia de Luz resort where Madeleine disappeared from in 2007. She says that there were children playing and that there were turtles and that the children were playing with the turtles. And then she also says that she can't remember anything else.
Something like some little line river on beach, and there were turtles and children play with turtles. I mean, try to get them on hands, and I don't remember more. I remember only this.
As she looked more and more into her childhood, she realised that her family had no photos of her before the age of 4. There was also no pictures of Julie's mother during pregnancy, and she just was a bit confused to why her life wasn't recorded anywhere before the age of 4. It's like the first 3 years of her life didn't even happen. Julia also spoke to her teachers at school, and they told her that she had started school at the age of 4 years old, which is not so unusual as most children, I know in the UK, you start around the age of 4 years old, so that's not really suspicious. However, with all the other things going on, this just builds up and up on her suspicion and confusion. Julia says that she's tried to talk to her parents about her childhood and her life before the age of 4 years old. However, she says that her mother just avoids the conversation or tries to change the topic of conversation, which, in my opinion, is very suspicious, because if there's nothing going on, you've got nothing to hide, then why wouldn't you just talk to your daughter about it? I personally do not know how this next part works, but just bear with me. Julia has been asked if she has a birth certificate, and she says she hasn't got one, but she has an ID card. However, she says that she's called up multiple times trying to get a birth certificate, but every time she tries to get one, they are unable to give her a birth certificate. So either she doesn't have one and there's no record of her birth, I guess. I don't even understand this. It's all just a bit confusing. I don't know how birth certificates work and like the production of them, but again, this next bit is a bit confusing but also a bit crazy. And to be honest, it's a huge piece of possible verifying evidence. Now, Julia's grandmother is allegedly married to a man named Paul Ney. Julia believes that Paul Ney is the father of Martin Ney, who had been directly involved in the investigation into the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. She also says that the man who took advantage of her as a young child was a man named Peter Ney. She says she saw a picture of Martin and she recognised him immediately. It was like she knew him. All these things are just building up and up. It's a bit like a jigsaw piece. All these little pieces connecting up to make the bigger picture of her being Madeleine, I guess. Now, I'm going to throw up 2 images up on the screen. As you can see, Madeleine is 3 years old in this picture. If you look very closely, maybe zoom in a little bit, Madeleine has a defect in her eye, and she has a little dark mark in her eye. Now, if you look into the picture of Julia, she has the exact same eye defect in the same eye, and not statistically, but these eye defects are supposed to be quite rare, so I don't know if it's just coincidence or what. Julia had begged her parents to do a DNA test on her to determine whether she was Madeleine, I guess, and her parents refused to let her do it. So either they're trying to cover something up, or I don't know. If you believe that, if you don't agree with her being Madeleine McCann, just give her the DNA test to prove her wrong, just so your kid will stop asking you about it, rather than just saying no, because, well, anyway. Now, because her family refused to let her do this DNA test, she tried to reach out to the family, the parents of Madeleine McCann, Kay and Jerry McCann. This attempt was unsuccessful, which I don't know how I feel about. I don't know if I agree with her reaching out to the family, because it kind of gives, well, They're still looking for the daughter, and they are raising 2 other children. So imagine being that disappointed that the family would feel if it wasn't actually their missing daughter. I feel like it gives them a sense of false hope. But I mean, also she could be her, so it could also, you know, be the best news that they've received. I'll give it to her though, she's very persistent. She decided after this failed attempt to take to social media to express her theories. In the past week, she's gained over 1 million Instagram followers, and people are actually supporting this girl in being Madeleine McCann, I guess. On her Instagram, she makes videos about how she believes that she's Madeleine McCann.
And that's all. That's all. No, I'm not trying to get attention. Even if I'm not Maddie, I could be another girl maybe, but I believe that I'm Maddie.
And in most of her videos, she's crying. I find this interesting too. She said that people have tried to give her money and she hasn't taken it because she isn't looking for fame or any attention. She just genuinely believes that she actually might be Madeleine, and she wants people to believe her because she's being honest as she can be.
Because I know I want you to believe me because I'm honest and I am not liar. People told me that they can give me money for DNA tests, and I answer to every person that I don't want their money because I don't want to make people think that I'm liar.
Now, people are pressuring her into posting what her parents look like. She was telling that she didn't agree to it for quite a while, but eventually she finally did. And I personally think that she actually looks like her mother. Comment that down below. However, there's still the possibility of her being Madeleine, but she also does look like her mother, so it's a possibility that this is all just a bit of a misunderstanding and that some of these things are just a coincidence. I don't know. Since all of this has come out though, Madeleine's parents have actually agreed to do a DNA test with Julia to see if she's their missing daughter. Which, I mean, if anything comes out, I will update you on. I'll make another video updating. I'm sure you'll see in the news whether she is Madeleine McCann or whether she's not. But, yeah. I'm not going to personally give my opinion on whether I think Julie is Madeleine McCann. That's up for you lot to decide, and feel free to leave it down in the comments section below and give a reason why you think that, because I'm actually interested to know whether you do or you don't think she's Madeleine McCann. That's all I have for this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe. Again, make sure your post notifications are on. I'm going to put a circle on the screen with my face in it so you can click it and subscribe. And I'll put a playlist of more true crime videos on so you can watch more videos coming from me. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.